Lakers done?
They're done. It's over. It's a wrap. It was pretty ugly looking at them last night.
Those are my thoughts exactly. Welcome to another edition of the Current Era podcast. I'm your host, Julian, and today we are going to do a deep dive into the LA Lakers organization, if you even want to call it that at this point. The Lakers have been so disappointing and so upsetting for the past, I don't know, 2, 3 months. I decided to do this special episode with my brother Javar just so we can kind of get off some quote unquote hot takes and just to, just as a stress reliever for us, because I mean, as diehard Laker fans, having to watch the crap that they've been producing for the past 2 months has been really, really difficult. So, Lakers fans, NBA fans, please listen. We're going to be blunt. We're going to be honest. We're not going to sugarcoat anything. LeBron is not 100% to blame, but he is a very large piece of the pie. So is Luke Walton. So is Magic and Rob. So please listen and enjoy. Welcome to another edition of the Current Era podcast. I'm your host, Julian, and today I have my brother Javar back on to help me dissect the Los Angeles Lakers and how absolutely awful they have been over the past, month and a half, 2 months, really. Javar, what's going on, man? How you doing over there?
What's up, man? Hanging in there. I mean, pretty much feeling how you feeling. Tough season. Disaster.
Yes, disaster. That's a good word for it. I mean, as it stands right now, we're 30 and 34 in the West. We're the 10th seed. We're 5.5 games back from the 8th seed. We have losses to teams like the Memphis Grizzlies, the Pelicans without Anthony Davis, the Suns, and the Clippers, and that's just recently. This team is an absolute mess right now. There's 18 games left in the season. Man, who or what do you feel has been the determining factor? I mean, why are we so bad right now? Like, what's happened to the Lakers this season?
Well, you remember we were in the fourth seat on
Yeah.
Christmas? I mean,
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
that feel like so long ago?
Man, it feels like a lifetime ago.
That was only a couple months ago. And guess what? We got a whole month left of this crap. We got 18 games left, and we already out of it. I mean,
hmm
it's it's unbelievable. Um, if I had to give the most blame, so I like to do this thing called a blame pie. If you think of it like a whole pie, it's not always cut evenly.
Sure,
Some chunks are bigger than others. So
sure,
the
sure.
biggest slice will have to go to me to the front office. I'd say like 40%.
hmm
Um, and it's weird because for the most part, I liked everything they've been doing up until, the summer. Everything was working. They got LeBron James, right? I mean, and still have cap space, max cap space left. I mean, you got your
Right.
superstar and max cap space. But then next thing you know, they sign KCP. Okay, that's not too surprising. Clutch client. He's a shooter, but theoretically, he's okay. And
Sure.
then JaVale McGee, okay, a minimum center, okay. And then Lance Stevenson, it's starting to get weird. I guess coming off the bench, he'd be a decent spark, but we need some shooters, right? We need
Better
need to make
players.
better move than that, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next day, Rondo, I'm starting to lose my
Uh,
mind. I'm like, he doesn't fit at all. Like, what does that mean for Lonzo? Were y'all about to trade him or what? Because
hmm
it didn't make any sense. Then they let Randall go, just for
For
nothing.
nothing. Yep, for nothing.
Just we no picks, no. I mean, we couldn't get a second round pick for him or something. I mean, something. Just let him go. He signed with the Pelicans for Rondo money, basically 9 million. Um, we did not sign Brook Lopez, who said he wanted to come back.
hmm
We just let him go. It may be nice to have a stretch center who could defend the basket. Lopez wasn't great. He wasn't a great rebounder, and he was, up and down some games, inconsistent, but he still was a presence. I'd rather have him starting than going in as with Zubats and McGee as our centers. Because keep in mind,
Yes,
Zubats, he was not. He had a horrible second year, and
he
he
did.
didn't show us anything in preseason, or at the start of the season. I almost wanted to cut him.
hmm
Um, so I mean, luckily Magic and them didn't do that. I guess it would be worse. I mean, trading them for Muscala or just letting them go for nothing. I mean, whatever. So running down the rest of the list for Magic and them, everything was working fine up until Christmas, right? I mean, we it was 1 year deal, so we didn't get too mad about it. We just put it aside. I was like, we got our young guys could shoot. Uh,
hmm
Kuzma, Hart, and Bi, they all shot good percentages last year. Lonzo, he'll get him up. We hope that he shot a better percentage, but I wasn't really worried about the shooting. I was more so worried about the size and just really, uh, really what they were trying to do. They were trying to be all more ball handlers, less shooters, more athleticism, stuff like that. Agitators, defenders. They thought this roster would match up with Golden State better or be like better in the playoffs. That was the line they were using. It made sense. It made enough sense, right? I mean, because we were good for like the first couple months, but
Hmm.
and it fell
And
apart.
we
And then,
destroyed Golden State on Christmas too.
yeah, exactly. It really matched up well with a lot of playoff teams up
Yep.
until that point. But then when we got to the deadline, and it just went to crap, man. We already were kind of on life support because of all the injuries, but then when the AD trade rumors were going on, when they were just putting the whole team on blast in trade rumors publicly,
Hmm.
it just really messed up the psyche of our team, the chemistry. The 1 year guys just gave up. The young guys took them a couple of games. Other than Ingram, he played well the whole time, but it took most of the guys, the young guys, a couple games to get their bearings. And the aforementioned Zubats trade, which made no sense whatsoever, because at that point he was our best center.
Yeah.
And then, right after that, Magic flew up there, met the guys in Philly, and they must have just gave him the side eye or something, because at first he said he was going to give them big hugs. And then after the meeting, he said he's all acting all different, saying we got to stop babying them and the professionals and all that. So they must have ice grilled him, right? That's the only thing I could think, right? It must not have went well.
Yeah, definitely.
And so yeah, do you agree with that? I mean, the second biggest slice is injuries, but do you have
Hmm.
anything more to say on the front office?
Yeah, definitely, man. So, I mean, I essentially agree with everything you said, but to me, the injuries overtake the mistakes that management has made because even though management is in charge and they make those type of decisions, I mean, at the end of the day, we have LeBron James. So, him missing 18 games is huge for us. And Lonzo has been one of our best defenders, if not our best defender. And him going down and missing the past, month and a half to 2 months and looks like the rest of the season, that's been huge for us because our defense has been absolutely garbage since he left. Um, but yeah, I mean, Magic and Rob, my goodness, you know, people tried to crap on them for the D'Lo thing, and then we signed LeBron, so people were cool. And then we like you said, we signed JaVale McGee, KCP, Rondo, Beasley, Lance Stevenson, 1 year deals, and
Drafted well.
yeah, like we come into the season, we started off slow, um, and then we got it together. We're 20-14, 6 games above 500, fourth seed in the West. We just dominate the Warriors, but LeBron gets hurt. So to me, that night changed our entire season. I mean, the whole AD thing that definitely had a huge impact as well because, like you said, everybody just got their feelings hurt essentially. So
So do you think? Okay, so the LeBron injury obviously was a big factor, but we could have recovered from that, right? We had enough time. He came back in January. But
I
there's two things. There's two things. There's the AD trade and the Lonzo injury.
I was about to
Which
say,
one do you
yeah,
think is the bigger deal? Which one do you think was
Lonzo,
the knockout blow? The
Lonzo,
Lonzo injury.
Lonzo. My
So
goodness,
you
if
think even after the trade rumors, if Lonzo was healthy, you think we'd be in a better spot?
yes, I think we'd be in a better spot. Not saying that we'd be the fourth seed, but we, I mean, we'd at least be the 6th, 7th, or
Six,
8th.
seed, seven. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because like I said, Lonzo was our best defender, and right now we're getting killed on the perimeter. Guys are just driving right by us. We're blowing coverages left and right. I mean, it just looks awful out there, and
And
Lonzo
he's a
was a huge part
fantastic
of
help
that.
defender.
Yes, 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 and he's not a playmaker. He's finishing around the rim a lot better this year.
He's
His jump shot was getting
composed.
better. Yeah, like
I
he
think I
was
think I
just hitting
think
his stride.
I think his composure and like how he never gets high, never gets low. I think that's like kind of leadership in a sense, and I think
Hmm.
guys feed off that.
Oh yeah,
I think
definitely.
he's just got some underrated qualities, man. Like his impact goes way beyond the stats.
Hmm.
Like the Lonzo effect is a real thing, man, and I'm a believer. But I'm sad, man. I don't know if he's ever going to play for the Lakers again. We might have seen his last Laker game, his last days as a Laker when he was just starting to put it together
Yeah.
before he got hurt. He might get traded this summer.
No, yeah. I mean, it's a possibility. But let's keep going with the blame game here. So
Yeah.
Magic and
So
Rob
so
are your biggest ones, and then your injuries. So who's next to blame?
okay. So between the front office and injury, the 70% of the pie. 40% front office, 30% injuries. So there's 30% left. I'm going to split that 15% each to Luke Walton and LeBron James. Starting off with Luke Walton.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's, a young coach, inexperienced staff, hired a whole bunch of his college buddies and people he trusts on his staff, teammate Brian Shaw, stuff like that. It'd been nice if he had like a Ron Adams type or a Tex Winters type that could, help guide him in with just X and O's and just experience. But alas, over the last 3 years, we have been surprisingly, our record has gotten better and better each year. Our defense has been last year was the top 10 most of the year before it fell off after injuries. This year we were even close to the top five. We were top three when LeBron got hurt and Lonzo was still healthy. We were top
Yep.
three in defense. We fell off a cliff once Lonzo got hurt. So it kind of makes you wonder if Lonzo was the biggest factor in our defense the last couple of years. But we've shown improvements there, but we've had no offense, right? Like, what is our system? Just fast breaks and some basic motion.
Mm-hmm.
It's,
It's
just haven't
terrible.
seen any evolution of that. He's decent on like
Out
out
of
of
bounds
bounds
plays.
plays,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's just not enough, man. We need some kind of system, some kind of philosophy on offense, something to go by. Guys should know when to get to the corner or when to move from weak to strong, when to do a little flare screen for a teammate to help get them open, or dribble handoff, just the little things, right? I wonder what they're working on because we haven't seen much improvement on that. Um, and then the biggest thing for me is his rotations. I mean,
Mm.
this guy, if he's the captain, like Rondo is got to be his wingman because he's going down the ship with Rondo. I mean, my goodness, like um, the last couple weeks, Rondo has been basically sabotaging us. He's just, you know, taking. I mean, seriously, taking terrible shots. The defense wants him. They're begging him to shoot these shots his whole
Yep.
career. Why did he decide
Yes.
to shoot 10 threes with us now? What the hell? Um, he's just throwing the ball away, not playing any defense whatsoever. Like he's probably whispering to his man, "Hey, just walk away, go to the corner, or go walk under the basket." Because it's seriously, man. Like I've seen clips where, or I've like rewinded. Sometimes I'll just watch him on defense, and he will come down and he'll just go straight under the basket to try to get a rebound. He does not guard his man at all. He pretends like he doesn't have a man. It's crazy. It's crazy. Um, and then Luke just keeps playing this guy. Like no matter what he does, he's always playing his minutes. Earlier in the season, he was starting over Rondo. I mean, finishing games over Lonzo,
Mm-hmm.
playing like 35 minutes to Lonzo's like 20.
Mm-hmm.
When Lonzo's been cleared to play, he can't use the injury excuse no more. No minutes restriction. And we even had a time where remember when Rondo was suspended and Lonzo was playing great without him.
Yep.
And then Rondo came back from suspension and he started just almost immediately taking all of Lonzo's minutes. It's like
Yep.
so is that he never staggers his rotations. Even now, we're on life support, and he's still got minutes. More 5 minutes at a time with no Bi, Braun, or Kuz out there.
Ridiculous.
Like that's madness. Like especially when your vets are sabotaging you. So I
Madness.
don't know, man.
Absolutely.
I mean, he hasn't like dipped into the G League or something to get some guys. Like, I don't know if that's a front office or coach thing. I think it's usually the coach's decision if they're like two-way guys and stuff. But I don't know.
Mhm.
But what are your thoughts on Luke Walton?
Man, so Luke, I've had a problem with Luke since day one, essentially, and my main problem with him has been his rotations and his offensive scheme. So his first of all, his offense, quote unquote, is not an offense. It's just a motion that they do. Like we literally ran that in high school. So like it's not like a real offense. Like it's just hey, move around, set a screen for somebody and move, or set this pick so they can flare. Do a high pick and roll. That's not an offense. Like we need some type of ball moving, set your man up offense to where we actually run some plays. Like I don't know about you, but one of the things I love to do in the NBA is I like to watch when guys bring it down the court and see what kind of hand gestures they're making, or see if they're looking to the coach, or
Hmm.
whatever, to call out a play, right?
They
That
never look to
almost
him.
I'm about to say that almost never happens with us. Like, it never happens, and that's not good. Like, that is not a good thing. I mean, our offense is
How
absolutely
many times are
pathetic.
we like got like 6 seconds or left on the shot clock?
Oh my
We are
goodness.
always in like late shot clock situation. If
Hmm.
it's not a fast break, basically we're going to end up with a terrible shot at the end of the shot
Yep.
clock.
Or like a JaVale McGee post up or a Rondo three. I mean, and yeah, and so I mean, the rotations that he makes are just god awful. You've pretty much touched on it, but there's no way that Lonzo should be playing 20 minutes and Rondo plays 35. Like, there's absolutely no way. And in the beginning of the season, when he was coming off his injury, and he was cleared to play, no minutes restriction, like you said, like, I was heated every game. Like, I was just like, Luke, what are you doing? Play
Weren't you like
Lonzo.
tweeting at the Lakers or something, or
Yes,
tweeting
bro,
at
I was
somebody?
tweeting. I was tweeting at Lakers, at Lakers Nation, at Mike
At
Trudell,
Magic.
at Magic. Like, bro, I was tweeting at them all. I'm like, what is happening right now? I was so upset. Like, it was crazy. I mean, and yeah, I mean, he never staggers the guys. Um, I mean, there's times when it's like Rondo, KCP, Lance Stevenson, Beasley, and JaVale McGee. Like, what? No, no, like,
Who's
stop
supposed to
that.
score in this lineup? Who's supposed to
Yes,
defend? Like,
my
what are
goodness.
these guys' roles? Like, yeah, it's. I mean,
Luke,
but on the other hand, that's kind of the hand he's dealt, right? That's the roster he's got to deal with. I
sure.
mean, but that doesn't mean you have to play a whole bench lineup, and he's been
No.
doing that his entire tenure with us.
Yeah.
I've always hated that about. There's two things. Those two things he hate, like playing random vets over the young guys. He did
Hmm.
that with Lou Will over D'Lo. No,
Yeah.
Byron Scott did that too, but
Yeah.
Luke did that. Um, he was playing KCP crazy minutes last year, like him taking whatever terrible shots he wanted, pull up threes, and then never pulled them. He just, I guess that was because we wanted to appease LeBron, low key, but still. And then yeah, like he's always been doing his all bench lineups. It's just, maybe because he was a role player, he wanted to play like
Oh,
that when he was there. I don't know, but
I don't
I
want to
don't like
hear
it.
that.
I mean, I'm trying to think of his logic because I don't get it. Like, I don't understand. I don't. I mean,
He's
last year we did have a good bench. We had Clarkson and Nance and like that. But like this year, man, I don't. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know what he's doing with that.
yeah. I mean,
And
Luke
that's
Luke
those two
is
things there have been killing us. I think overplaying Rondo in
yes,
his rotations. We could get
definitely.
around the rest of it. I mean, we were a winning team, for the first couple months of the season without an offense because our
Hmm.
defense was okay, and we still got around his terrible rotations. So that's why, even despite all these issues, I don't want to give him too much blame because, a lot of it's not even his fault too. It's just the roster.
Sure, sure, sure.
So can we move to LeBron?
Yeah, yeah. Let's go ahead and talk about LeBron now. So LeBron is the other 15% of this
Yeah,
pie that you have here. So why should he have any blame? He's LeBron James.
he's just a player, right? He's
Yeah.
just
He's
this
not the
big
coach, not the
superstar,
front office.
the goat, right? He's the goat. He's our king.
Not my
Uh,
goat. Not my goat.
but I was excited when we signed LeBron just because it's getting a superstar. Helps us moves into more relevancy, and it seemed like he was signed on to playing with the young guys, and we didn't trade everybody for Kawhi or whoever, random star or whatever. So it's like, okay, I'm just gonna roll with LeBron, even though it's been 2 months. He's not doing a press conference. He showed up to our summer league games in Laker shorts, right? So he's in. He's one of us. That's all we had, really,
That's
because
it.
he didn't say he had a little press conference for his school. He talked a little bit about the Lakers then, but he just showed up at training camp, and it's like the first time he did a press conference for the Lakers, solely about the Lakers. So whatever, you're a superstar. We'll give you a pass, whatever. Um, we were supposed to play him off the ball more, right? That was the whole
Supposedly.
idea of having all these playmakers. He was supposed to ease LeBron into more of like a post role, and so he's not holding on the ball and taxing himself too much.
Hmm.
Um,
That
that
hasn't
lasted like 10 games, right? Before he
happened.
took over as point guard, basically, and just like scrapped everything we were trying to do. And okay, we started winning when he did that, so I wasn't complaining after a couple weeks of that. He never engaged with Luke Walton, right? He never endorsed him. He literally just like he's the coach, I'm the player, like just big
Mm-hmm.
canned responses. He never really said that he liked them.
Mm-hmm.
He never. When you watch them in timeouts, he seems to talk to Brian Shaw more than Luke Walton. So it just seems, and then his camp, quote unquote, his camp says that they want a new coach.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, where there's smoke, there's fire. So it just seemed like he never, and he, this is the LeBron way, right? He burns through his entire, every team he goes through coaches. He's a coach killer, all right? I don't
Oh
want to
yeah,
hear it. LeBron stands. He's a coach killer.
he is 100%.
He usually trades everybody for whatever win now move, whatever star, whoever's available. That's his MO. But we assumed he was he's willing to change, right? He came to the Lakers for whatever reason. We didn't. There really was no good reasons for him to come to the Lakers unless he was just planning on trading everything for some win now to try to get two other superstar with him type thing. But it didn't happen over the summer, so we thought, okay, maybe he likes our young guys. He's been hyping up Lonzo. All season he's been saying how much he loves Lonzo and hyping him up, how
Mm-hmm.
great he can be, hyping up Bi, props to Kuz, et cetera, et cetera. So it's like, okay, he's in on these guys. Um, and then the trade deadline happens, and basically he just, his agent, one of his best friends, childhood friends, his agent is AD's agent. So you have to feel like it's coming from LeBron, really. I mean, sad to
Mm-hmm.
say, we're talking about clutch sports, we're talking about LeBron James. It's basically his agency.
Yes, it is.
So when his second biggest client, Anthony Davis, asked for a trade, and he wants to go to the Lakers. Oh, and I'm not to mention a month before that, LeBron saying he wants to play with Anthony Davis, like just telling reporters that like out the blue, like, hey, ask me if I want to play with Anthony Davis. Do you want to play with Anthony Davis? I would love to play with Anthony Davis. I'm pretty sure that's how that conversation went.
It did.
And
I mean, he
so,
named other players in that, to be fair, but
well,
yeah.
that was after, right? That was like because that first quote was right before the Pelicans game, and then after the game, we played the Pelicans, and he was like, I would love to play with any player. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
and then he did that whole spiel.
Mm-hmm.
So he tried to play coy, and then he said, "Oh, and I play by the rules." Remember? And he smiled.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So trade deadline that blew up our chemistry. The young guys, I mean, basically the whole team was on the deadline. I mean, in trade rumors, so they're all looking like, "Oh, okay, LeBron, you thought we were your guys. I thought we were your mud squad." Motivated, whatever the acronym was.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever that was. Yeah, squad. But no, he basically had them on the block. Just everybody's replaceable. Everybody's tradable. So how these guys supposed to feel? They all look at him sideways. So of course, he's got no buy-in from his team now. So how can you be a leader when you know you basically acting like a GM off the court,
Mm-hmm.
uh, not playing no defense at all, but want to like get mad at your guy making a shot? You trying to get mad at your teammates for it? Like they're supposed to cover you all the time. Um, and just being passive aggressive in the media, it hasn't been great, man. And honestly, I don't want to hear it from his stands at all. They got to eat this L,
Oh yeah.
and it's a stain on his legacy. I mean, not a big one. It's tail end of his prime. So it's not like he's 25-year-old LeBron missing the playoffs, but it's still not a good look. I feel like he could redeem himself, but it has been a disastrous season. He's got to eat this L. Do you have
Mm-hmm.
anything more to say on LeBron James?
Yeah, man. So I want to lead off my take with a quote from Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. loves to say on First Take, "Oh, LeBron gonna get his stats. LeBron gonna get his stats now." So yeah, I mean LeBron makes sure that he gets his 27, 10, and 10 every game. But I don't care about these empty records, these empty stats. The only stats that matter are the W's. So, I mean, there's been multiple times where we have lost a game, but he's had some type of either triple double or some type of accomplishment, and he'll post about it on Instagram. Like, hold on, fam, that don't matter. Like, that is irrelevant. Like,
Man,
don't nobody care about
man,
that. No, nobody
man.
care about that.
Don't
I
don't get me
hate
started
that.
on this dude
Yeah, like I
and his
hate
social
that.
media.
And like this guy comes to LA, and one of the first thing he does is he tries to quiet the rumors about how I'm only here for basketball. I'm not here for that extra stuff. Meanwhile, he has the shop on HBO, Space Jam 2. He's doing A&R for 2 Chainz's new album. Like, come on, man. What are you really here for,
Multiple
though?
documentaries.
Yeah, like this guy, I don't. I don't like LeBron. I've always been a LeBron hater. Um, and when we got him, I was trying my best to change my ways. I was like, you know what? It's LeBron. Like he's a good player. Like I'm not stupid. I'm gonna respect his talent. Like he has obvious talent. And I've during the first October, November, December of the season, I was up and down with him because he was up and down with us. Like
Oh, I
when
forgot to
when
mention, man, he's been coasting all year.
oh my goodness, yes, he's been coasting. LeBron has not turned it on. He has not activated any playoff mode. I don't care what he says. LeBron has a whole nother gear that he can go into, but he has not, unless
He's hurt
he's no, not he, no, nah, he not hurt. He's old. Like
or
this is something that I talked about to you when we first signed LeBron. I was like, my biggest fear is that he's going to get hurt because we're not getting Cleveland LeBron. We're not getting Miami LeBron. We're getting old man Bron. And that's the guy we're getting. He's 33 going on 34. So his legacy for the Lakers is going to be that, oh, I was old, I was hurt, I was hobbled, and I don't want to hear it. I wish he never would have signed with us. I wish he wouldn't have signed a 4-year deal. I would have been happier riding with the young guys and taking our chances because I'm not a fan of LeBron James. I'm not. I don't like him. And now there's reports about him sitting out and oh, I'm not hurt, so I'm gonna play. But I, I wouldn't put him by him to as you say I wouldn't put it by him to fake an injury and be out for the rest of the season. I really wouldn't.
Yeah, once he passes Jordan for most
Oh
points of all
yeah,
time, which he should do tomorrow,
tomorrow. Yep,
Wednesday. I think he's what, like 14 points away or something. So
something like that. Yeah.
yeah, he probably sitting out Sunday. I mean Saturday prime time against the Celtics. Come up with some injury, and then he's gonna be out. I would not be
Hmm.
surprised if that's how it goes. But I mean, why not? Look, so I'm done with the blame pot. That is what it is. It's but in the season's over. We got 18 games left. I mean,
Hmm.
what's the point?
Yep.
Like, why should he play? I mean, look, hear me out. Here's my case for tanking. We're 5.5 games from the 8 seed. We're 4.5 games from the number 7 slot in the tank race. When you
Mm.
wake up, and you're closer to to better tanking seat, a top 5 pick than you are from playoffs, it's time to
Start your
rejigger
engines.
your yeah, exactly. Like it's time to, well, yeah, start this tank engine, rev
Hmm.
it up, break it back out the garage. A little dusty. We thought we were done with it. Thought we could sell it.
Ah,
Bring this 2013 tank back out.
man.
Old faithful. Get these
Mm-mm-mm.
number 2 picks every year. Let's get it.
So
But
that's,
no,
I mean, I was about to say,
so
like, is that what you want to see from the Lakers? You want to see them tank now?
I do actually. Yes. I mean, it's like an organizational tank. Like, yeah, just sit LeBron. What's the point? He's 34. Let's not let him risk getting hurt anymore. Let him get
Hmm.
his record, whatever, and let's just come up with some fake injury. Yeah, it's 18. It's, 15 plus games. Just let it go. All right, it's
Hmm.
over. Now the young guys can still play if they want. I doubt, before, I doubt Lonzo will be back. It would be nice
Yeah,
if he could, just to try to get a rhythm. But even if he is to remain a Laker, he needs a healthy offseason.
I
So
agree.
that's the most important thing for him. Just get healthy. But if he could get back, sure. If injury, I mean, if Bi, the little shoulder thing, mysterious shoulder injury that I don't know if it's real or not, but whatever.
No, it's
If
not
he
real.
wants to come back and play, sure. I mean, he's been putting up numbers, whatever. Go on and get that trade value up more, bro. Look, uh, Kuz is probably out. I mean, he just got hurt, so I don't know. He
Yeah,
might be back in the
so
last week of season.
yeah, I see Tanya Ganguli, she from Lakers Nation, she just posted on Twitter that Kuz had an MRI. He has a minor right ankle sprain. He'll probably miss up to a week. And yeah, I mean after that he'll be day to day. So, with the Lakers, that means he's out for the season. So
Exactly. And that's a whole other subject.
hmm.
Hart, I mean, he's been hurt
Man,
for months, so he might as well sit out.
yeah,
I mean, he's just hurting himself, hurting his
he
numbers
is.
even worse. It's
He
ugly.
is.
Um, and I mean, these vets, they don't want to play. Lance want to come up with injuries, whatever, whatever. Rondo, you want to sit? Just bring in all these G League dudes. I mean, I don't think we got to try hard to tank. You sit
Andre
LeBron, and
Ingram.
I have that on my notes. Andre Ingram, LOL. Why not? We still have a roster spot.
Oh
I
man.
mean,
Okay. I don't mean to interrupt your train of thought, but who does Carmelo Anthony think he is? Like, Woj put out this
let's
report the other
talk about
day.
this.
Yeah, like Woj put out this report that talks with the Lakers and Carmelo Anthony have stopped because the Lakers aren't a playoff.
Bro, you sitting on
Melo.
the couch. I don't
Yeah,
want to
like
hear
shut
it.
up. Like, who do you think you are? Melo really think that he is somebody that's gonna come in and drop 30? Like, bro, we don't want you. Like this
The
guy
talks
has
have chilled.
yeah,
What
like
talks? The
this
talks
guy
are like,
has
hey, you
some
want to sign with
balls,
us? Come
bro.
show up.
Yes, like this guy has some cojones on him.
I
Like
don't even think it
Melo,
came. I don't think it's
mm,
like that. I think like Woj is just fishing for hit pieces. So he probably contacted Carmelo's people like, "Hey, what's up? Are you still signed with the Lakers?" And his people was like, "What's the point? Like, they're not making the playoffs. So why Melo even? Melo fat now. He don't work out no more. What's the point? What's the point of getting him back
uh,
in shape for this?" So yeah, that's a whole. I was laughing when I saw it. I was like, "Get out of here!"
yeah,
Woj just like I've been trying to tell you, Adrian Wojnarowski is a pure Laker hater. Just come up with who gives it? Who else would release that story? Nobody gives a damn.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, man. When I saw Woj tweet that, I'll admit I got angry, but I got angry because like I'm just like, who does Melo like? I was like, who does he think he is? But yeah, so let's move on, man. Let's move on. So Lakers
I have a
season's
question
over.
though.
Oh,
Do
okay.
you think at what point? What do you think Magic and Rob's you know excuse is going to be? So the season's going to end,
Injuries.
and they're gonna fire Luke on day one, right? And
Oh
then
yeah.
they're going to do their press conferences. Are they just
hmm
going to completely blame injuries? Are they not going to cop to this roster or them
No.
depleting them shooting ourselves in the foot by trading Zubats? I mean, our one center that was playing decently.
Here's exactly how it's gonna go. So first of all, Luke was doomed from day one. As soon as LeBron James signed with us, he was doomed because like we said it earlier.
Actually, does he even make the
LeBron,
rest of the season?
I think
They
so.
should just let him. They should just let him go now. I mean,
I mean,
just let
what's the
Brian
point?
Shaw finish.
I mean, oh well, maybe, but I don't think Brian Shaw is in their long term plans to be the coach. So
I don't
why,
agree either.
why even do that? Just let Luke
It's just
finish. Let
embarrassing.
Tank.
It's embarrassing. Everybody know he's gonna get fired. I mean, like why let this guy just out here? He's already just sitting down most of the game anyway. He's barely into it, Luke. So I mean, just let him
Yeah,
go. If you know you're gonna fire him, just let him go. Let's just move on.
I guess.
Let Jersey Mermaids or somebody. Let somebody. I mean, shoot, let LeBron coach him. Whatever. I don't care.
But yeah, I mean, Luke from day one has been doing ever since he signed LeBron. So yeah, he's absolutely gone. And yeah, I mean, Magic and Robert is absolutely going to blame injuries. I mean, they signed everybody on this roster aside from Brandon Ingram, so they're not going to take the blame for any of the guys performing or underperforming. LeBron missed 18 games. Lonzo missed essentially half the season. So those are our two best players in my opinion. So I mean, they're
How do you think they
absolutely
really
going to say
feel though?
injuries. I mean, I'm sure that they're upset and they're angry, and they feel like the guys that they signed should have played better, but they can't say that publicly. So, because that's going to make them sound incompetent. Because we knew that, we like you said, like we were looking at them sideways, and they were signing freaking Lance Stevenson and Michael Beasley and Rajon Rondo. We were looking like what? But I mean, they're not going to admit that publicly.
So do you think they're like? Are they more so mad at Luke, or are they mad at the players, or like who are they pissed at? Are they just mad at
I mean,
themselves if they're not taking blame?
yeah, but say, I mean, like, so internally, they're probably mad at themselves, but, I don't, I mean, I just don't see why they would put themselves out there and say that, hey, we messed up. I mean, I mean,
That would be nice. I think they
it
gain a
would
lot of
be,
respect
but
if they said, "Hey, this experiment it just didn't turn out how we expected."
yeah, I just don't see it happening. I mean, I'm being realistic. Magic Johnson is extremely respected in the basketball world. I just don't see him, putting this smudge on it himself. I mean, everybody else is already killing him. He's not going to add to the fire by doing it himself too. So that's just how I
Okay,
feel.
one more question. Was there any point in the season where you just realized you were done with Luke, or last season, or what? Like, when did you
Um,
know it
when I
was done
was
for him?
done with Luke, I mean, I knew he was getting fired when we signed LeBron, but I really haven't liked him for after the first month we got him really because
Oh,
I saw his rotations and his offensive scheme, and like you said, like it hasn't changed or evolved in the 3 years that he's been here. Luke has been the same coach for those 3 years, and I wasn't the biggest D'Lo fan, but I didn't like that D'Lo was riding the bench at the end of games. Like I hated it. And in Lonzo's first year, I mean, Lonzo was riding the bench at the end of the games, and then this year he's riding the bench at the end of the games. I can't give it that. And so, yeah, I mean, do you have a different opinion on that as far as when you were done with Luke?
No, no. I mean, I think I was done with him. I think deep down I was done with him when he was playing Rondo over Lonzo. When it was clear as day that Lonzo was the guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was starting to get pissed, and and we still had no offense. I was like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I was getting pissed with him. I was hoping, I thought maybe best case he could stay as head coach, but we could get a new staff
Mm-hmm.
and he could, to help him out with offense and just other things like that. But I kind of didn't think he'd be the type that would fire all his buddies and then bring on a whole bunch of guys that
Sure.
Magic or Rob hires for his staff. I didn't think he'd be that type to allow that or accept that. So,
Right.
yeah. So
Yeah,
what do we
man.
do, man? I mean, we're probably gonna fire our coach. We have
Mm-hmm.
a roster. Luckily all the vets are gonna be gone, but we're gonna have young guys that are like kind of just in limbo. I mean, is there any chance that Magic and LeBron want to keep any of these young guys, or is it just all about trading for AD or what?
Yeah. So in my mind, this summer, like this Anthony Davis trade is going down. Um, you touched on it earlier, but if Lonzo doesn't come back this year, he has played his last game as a Laker. Um, there's no future for these guys here as long as LeBron's here. So,
Not anyone.
no,
Like,
because
okay,
they're always going to
let,
be in trade rumors, always. So
let's
and
peel it
if
back.
go ahead.
So AD to Boston. It looks like Boston's pretty much that's not going to happen, right? Because Kyrie, it doesn't
Hmm?
look like he's coming back at all.
Nope,
So Anthony Davis is not going to re-sign there. They're not
nope,
going to even trade all their guys, especially not Tatum, for him.
nope.
So I don't know if that. I mean, that's not going to be out there. I don't know if there's anybody else out there that can put out an offer. I mean, we'll have to see how the draft, the lottery goes down. But
Mhm.
hey, that's another reason why I want to tank. What if we end up getting a top four pick? Excuse me. Because if we get down to, say, that seven spot, which is we're 4.5 games from that, we would have a almost 31.9% chance of getting in the top four and a
Mhm.
7.5% chance of getting number one. Right now, we're 13th with a 4.8% chance to get to top four and 1% for number one.
Mhm.
So just, I mean, tanking could be critical for our future. I mean, for our summer, specifically, because what if we have, say, a top four pick, and you see how great Brandon Ingram's been playing this year? What if that's enough alone? Like just like maybe the pick in Brandon Ingram for AD, which might even be a lot for 1 year AD, and we don't
Yeah.
know what else, what other offers are going to be anywhere close. I
Mhm.
still think we're going to have the best assets to get AD that is reasonable that he will re-sign on because he'll have a 1 year deal. So I still think that trade is going to be there,
Mhm.
but it might not be the whole God offer. I mean, the Godfather offer that
Yeah, and
has
and
been
that's
out there.
that's that's exactly what I want to touch on. There's no way that we're gonna offer everybody again, and if we do, we're stupid. And Magic and Rob need to
Yes,
be
I'm
fired.
going to be done. Yeah, I'm going to be
Yeah,
done if they do that.
but there's absolutely no way that Lonzo, Hart, Kuz, Bi, like, there's no way we should offer all four of those guys for Anthony Davis. In no shape or form, we should not do that in the summer.
Plus a
Now,
lottery pick. Oh,
right, yeah. So, but let's say that we do get number three, right? We get one of the Duke boys. I mean, not Zion, obviously, because he's going number one. But let's say we get number three. We package it with Bi, like you said. We trade, and then it's done. Like we have Anthony Davis. Um, like, do you see like a future with that? Like, because we're gonna have, well, we still got a lot of guys to sign, but I
yeah.
mean,
Say we have Lonzo, Hart, I
Brian.
guess LeBron, AD, and then we got to fill out a center, and then we still have like 20, 25 million, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say to fill out the roster. So I would actually I wouldn't mind that path. I mean, we kind of we didn't talk about free agency because
Mm-hmm.
that looks pretty bleak.
I was about to say, I mean, that's the question. I mean, who wants to play with us now? Like, who wants to come into this?
I'm not closing the door on Durant, man, or Kyrie. I know
Really?
it sounds crazy, but out of the free agents, those two guys have a relationship with LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
Even like I saw today on the jump, Kyrie was talking, I guess last night or today or something about how the media keeps, trying to tear LeBron down or tries to tear KD down or tries to tear him down, et cetera. So he lumped those three guys together and just talking about, their legacies and how great they are, stuff like that. Check it out if you haven't heard. It's just like after practice or after shoot around or something.
Mm-hmm.
So and then between that and him like going out of his way to talk about how he apologized to LeBron and how his leadership thing is tough, blah blah blah, and how he, I'm not closing the door on Kyrie. And then KD, I mean, why would you go from the Warriors, three-time champion most likely dynasty to the Knicks? Like what's really I mean, especially if you're not going to have Kyrie or someone else going with you to the
Mm-hmm.
Knicks with that ownership, I mean, that front office is okay, I guess. Young brothers, newer uh, newer front office, man, they haven't had a chance to really mess up too much. That KP trade was kind of weird, but maybe they know something about KD. I don't know, but um, but it's just like, I mean, the Lakers aren't great situation right now, but are the Knicks really better than us? I mean, I don't know. And then he's like I said, he's got a relationship with LeBron, so I don't know. I wouldn't put it completely closing the door on Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving,
Mm-hmm.
um, particularly Kyrie Irving. I'm kind of feeling like it's a chance. And then what about like the second tier guys like a Cousins or a Kemba Walker or Jimmy Butler?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler. I mean, whatever. Look, we just had the Mud Squad. Why not have another crazy? At least he's actually good.
And at least he'll compete every
Yeah,
night.
he'll
I
play
don't.
defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man,
Uh,
that next point you bring up is interesting because talk about the tankathon. They're probably going to get Zion. So I mean,
you can't say that. I mean, just because they're like the worst team in the league, that's only what 10% chance. It's not a high. It's not great, man. Like or 15%, something like that. It's not. It's
something like
not.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like it's a slam dunk. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see.
What
We'll
if they
see
do
how it
though?
goes down.
If
Well,
if if
if
if,
they
if they
do,
get Zion, then that gives them a good chance to get somebody like Kyrie or KD too, right?
yeah, I agree. Or maybe even trade for Anthony Davis.
Yeah. He'd
I'd
be.
personally rather have Zion and knowing you're going to have him for like 7 years as opposed to taking a chance for AD. But
Oh, I absolutely.
unless you know AD is going to resign, like you know, you got to have a super team pretty much lined up, I guess. But even then, I might think long and hard about just keeping Zion because he's going, you can kind of mold him a little better.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas AD,
Oh yeah.
he's going to want his touches and stuff, especially with Kyrie, KD. You don't want too many cooks in the kitchen, but I don't know. Personally,
Yeah.
I'd rather Kyrie come to the Lakers than Zion get. We get the number one pick, but it is what it is. What about D'Lo?
What about him?
He's a restricted free agent this summer. The Nets ain't trying to throw that max.
Yeah, no. The Lakers better not make any kind of offer to him. I'm sorry. They better not.
after trading him,
Yeah,
after trading him
like
and talking crap about him.
yeah, like there's absolutely no way that they should do that. And you know what? I'm not even gonna talk about that because you're just gonna get me angry about D'Lo. So, and about Randall, and about Brook Lopez, and everybody else that's playing great for the Lakers, right? I mean, that used to play for the Lakers right now. So,
What about if things? Okay, we don't sign, basically anybody that we wanted. Big name guys or even the second tier guys.
Magic and Rush
Um,
fired.
okay, what if instead of doing that, they get desperate and trade for Bradley Beal?
They should be fired. What? They should be fired, bro. If the
Depending on
Lakers,
what it is, though, it might not look. Bill's putting up like 25 a game and like 5 assists, decent, good percentages. So it's not like he's a
how would that
bum,
work?
but
Who would they have to give up?
they probably have to be revolving around Ingram and say if we've got like our 12th pick or something, Ingram in the 12th pick.
Oh, that's it? Okay, yeah, by Ingram. Okay. For some reason, I thought it was going to be like two or three young core guys, and absolutely
Or no,
not.
if it's a Godfather offer for Bradley Beal, yeah, they should be fired. That's
Yeah, okay,
crazy.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, yeah, if it's just going to be Ingram and a pick, it is what it is. I mean, go for the guy that's doing it now. But there's no way you give up two or three of our young core for Bradley Beal. I'm sorry, he's not that good. Um,
Yeah.
my opinion.
So at
Yeah.
the end of the day, I just don't see us come if we I don't see us being completely empty-handed this summer. Something's gonna happen. We're gonna get
Hmm.
somebody. Like
Yeah. I
I
mean,
just
I'm
don't see it.
optimistic. I just don't know. I'm tired of getting my feelings hurt, man. Like I'm tired of believing in this franchise, and just stuff just not happening. Um,
It's tough, man, because though we've had so many of our good times, right? We've seen championships. So many people who lived a lifetime never saw a championship. We've seen five in our lifetime, well, in my lifetime. You might not remember the first, the 2000 or 2001, 2002, but I vividly remember them. But
mhm.
it. So now there's a lot of pressure on the Lakers, man. We're front and center. We lead all the sports shows. It's just we're in a big, huge
Easy.
media bubble, especially with LeBron signing with us. It's just a
Yeah.
lot, man. So it's exhausting just to hear so many takes and so many
Yes.
haters out there and so many people just saying all this stuff, and to
Hmm.
know that they were mostly right. You know, I remember at around Christmas time we beat the Warriors, blew them out. I was all pumping my chest, and the places where I post my sports and stuff, I'm all talking, doing my victory lap. Even though LeBron was hurt, I was like, he'll be all right. He's missing like a week or something. We're gonna be good. Man, little did I know the whole world be crashing down, and it's very humbling, man. It's very humbling.
Hmm. And yeah, man.
Um,
So you touched on it a little bit, but I kind of do want to address some haters for a little bit because, there's people out there that tend to think that the Lakers were always going to be bad this year, no matter what, and that's just false. I mean, that's just wrong. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, the Lakers were good. We were clicking. And then LeBron got hurt, then Lonzo got hurt, then Anthony Davis, and everything happened. And like you said, we completely fell off a cliff. But I stand by it to this day. If LeBron was healthy the entire season, Lonzo Ball been healthy the entire season, even with the 80 trade rumors, we would still be a good team. Like we would be in the playoffs, maybe even fourth, fifth, sixth, but we would not be as awful as we are right now. So that's number one. Number two, people think that Braun coming over to the West just means that, like, oh, like it's not going to be easy now. You've been over there coasting in the East. Now you're in the West. So, you're not going to be able to do nothing for the Lakers. I mean, LeBron's going to get his stats, like Stephen A says. So, I mean, as much as I don't like him as a basketball player, LeBron has been having a great season for us. He just can't topple the
Offensively,
injuries. Yeah, yeah, offensively, yeah. He just can't do anything with these injuries. I mean, that's stuff that he can't control. I mean, he's older now, but you know, I don't like those haters out there that think that just because we were the fourth seed for a day or whatever that it just doesn't matter. I mean, of course it matters. We were the fourth seed. We were 6 games over 500. We were rolling. We were clicking. I mean, and then LeBron got hurt, so it matters. But yeah.
yeah. But on the other hand, they were mostly right too, though, because those veterans that Magic signed, they're not doing nothing. I mean, we got four guys basically worth a damn, right? With
I agree.
LeBron, Ingram, Kuz, and Bullock. Really, I mean,
Hmm.
Rondo some nights, but for the most part, four or five guys. Um, and really, most of I mean, JaVale, like you alluded to, he started off the season great.
Yeah.
Um, Lance had moments up and down, but he was not like he was ever great. KCP has been a mitigated disaster. I gotta let me check his percentages. I want to say this guy, he had maybe one good month, what, like January or something, or maybe it's
Probably.
December.
Yeah, because I mean,
But
in
he,
the beginning of the season, he was awful, and then Josh Hart started taking his minutes, and then KCP came on for a little bit. But after that, he's been awful.
yeah, my phone's dying, so
JCP,
I can
KCP has just been he's been a
spare radio.
complete
But
disaster. I mean,
yeah, I don't have his stats, but I'm just gonna go on a limb, and it's got to be his career worst season, maybe since his rookie year or something. But he hasn't done nothing for us. 12 million a year, just there. And then Beasley, 4.5 million, just hasn't done it. I mean, what can you do, man? Like these guys that Magic signed, like everybody hated the signings immediately and said they were stupid, and they were right about it. I mean,
yeah,
I couldn't really defend it then. I was just like, well, they're just role players, right? I
yeah,
mean, they're one year deals, they're role players. The young guys are going to be dependent on. Well, the young guys are for the most part doing their thing. I mean, they weren't always starting the year they weren't always consistent, but definitely now, I mean, we're losing. We're just bleeding games left and right, just losing to terrible teams. And the young guys are actually the only ones, along with LeBron, that are worth a damn.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
So, what does that say about these? I mean, like, if we just had, look, this summer, man, if we strike out, I don't want to do these 1 year deals anymore.
Why?
I'm sorry. Like, I don't want to, because when you sign 1 year guys, they don't buy in, they don't care. At
Mm-hmm.
least give them 2 years, 2 or 3, maybe a team option or something. Just have a carrot over their head to where they feel like they're not just an asset. It's just a placeholder for cap
Right.
space for the summer. Like let them at least think they're a part of the team. We have to start building a team, man. Like I'm tired of doing these.
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing these 1 year deals since we've been tanking, since we've been bad. So at least 5, 6, 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, the last multi-year guy besides LeBron that we signed that wasn't a draft pick was like Lou Williams. We signed him to like a 3 year deal, like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Um, so it's not good business. Like we need to stop having so much turnover. We need a culture. We need like roots. We need teams. I mean, players that we as fans we can buy into and love. Right?
I agree,
We
man.
want. So I mean, that's pretty much. I think I'm all taked out, man.
All right, so
It's
let's go
sad.
ahead and wrap it up, man. So I want to get your final thoughts. I mean, I know that this whole podcast we pretty much just crapped on everything about the Lakers, but um, in my opinion, there have been some decent takeaways from the season. So, do you have anything good to take away from the season at all?
Well, why don't you start it off? What are some that you
So
maybe
yeah, so
some of
for
your
me,
picks?
man, I want to start with JaVale McGee. Like, we alluded to it earlier, but starting off the season, JaVale McGee was a force on both ends of the floor. Like he really helped us protecting the rim and finishing around the basket. His athleticism to be able to catch lobs and just dunk on people was just fantastic for like the first 2 or 3 months of the season.
And his
Unfortunately, when
defense protecting the rim. I think
yeah,
he was leading the league in blocks for like in the first month or
Yeah,
two.
he was. Yeah, and then unfortunately, when Zoo started taking his minutes, he kind of just lost his confidence or lost his will to play, whichever. Um,
And he had
and
pneumonia, right?
yeah, that I forgot about that. Yeah, he had that pneumonia. He was pretty much done. I think he missed like 10 games for that.
Yeah, it's
Um,
out like almost a month.
yeah, and Tyson Chandler as well. I thought that when he came in, he made an immediate impact. He had that big block against Atlanta, got us a good win. He's always good setting screens, getting rebounds, but he just can't stay healthy either. And then yeah, I mean the biggest takeaway is the young guys. I mean Lonzo, but before he got hurt, he was rolling. He was looking spectacular.
Man,
Kuz
it
has
was
has looked
incredible.
yeah, Kuz has looked pretty good all year. He's actually being kind of consistent. And then
That shooting
Bi,
though.
yeah, yeah. I mean, but and then Bi, like this past 2 or 3 weeks, this guy has just been balling. It sucks that he got this quote unquote shoulder injury now, but I guess he's shooting the ball too much. But yeah, I mean, Bi has just been balling. So it gives me hope for our young guys. And Josh Hart did his thing in summer league in the beginning of the season when KCP was trash until he got his knee tendonitis. But it gives me hope that if we do keep our young guys, our young guys can develop and actually do something. But those are my good takeaways. Those are all the ones I have.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. And also just how much enthusiasm and how much excitement we had in the first couple
Mm.
months.
Oh yeah.
It's hopefully free agents can see that and are like, man, this like if you can win as a Laker, is nothing better.
Hmm.
And I mean, like you pretty much touched on the rest of the positives. I don't really have much else. It's been pretty dark.
Yeah. Okay. So, if I want you to put on your GM hat right now. So, what do the Lakers have to do this summer to not only win back the hearts of Laker fans, but to compete for a championship? Because that's what it's all about. We don't play for division banners. We play for championships. So, what do you think they need to do this summer to make that move?
Okay, so as soon as the Celtics gets bounced in the first round, uh, let's hope for that. Um, LeBron needs to call Kyrie over, and they need to hang out like all summer.
Post Instagram
And
videos.
exactly, do all that. Um, Hell, why not KD too? Once the Warriors win the championship, just get all three of them a room. Tell KD and Kyrie to take pay cuts. All right, whatever they got to do. But pick one of them or both of them or whatever. LeBron's got to go into recruiter mode like crazy.
I
Like
agree.
he's got to start. He's got to put on the full court press. Um, he's also got to look himself in the mirror, and think about what does he have to do to win the hearts of Lakers fans, and like, did he, always approach things the right way this year? Once to get the roster together, he needs to work on embracing who he has. Like
Yes.
going back to how he was with the Cavs when they were going all the team dinners and team vacations or whatever they were doing, all that type of stuff. Like build a brotherhood with the teammates. He never did that with the Lakers here. It's just all been like business and just hanging with his family. I mean, maybe because most of the team was young, I don't know, but it's just he hasn't been connected. So um, we have to think about stuff like that. I think. And then, Magic and Rob, uh, first, they're going to have to address free agency. And then whatever happens there, they're going to have to address the Anthony Davis situation, if they're going to
Mm-hmm.
make a move or not. I mean, we have to get over that. If he's going to get traded or what.
Yes.
So basically, these guys need to. I mean, at the end of the day, this season has been a disaster, but it's not. We still have cap space. We still have a superstar LeBron James who
Mm-hmm.
has a decent network of friends in the league. It's not like everybody hates him, despite what some people are trying to say. Um, I mean, we'll see. We'll see actually how this goes this summer. If we get nobody, that must mean nobody going to play with him, right? With all these guys available.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we'll see how that goes. And we have 38 million cap space. It's not like we have a whole bunch of dead weight and terrible contracts. So, it's not the end of the world. We have young talent. The future's still bright. It's just a matter of how bright. We might not have this super team that we dreamed about, but we could still be okay and we could still build a championship team. We just got to decide what are we going to have. And the
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Davis thing needs to be resolved some way, somehow. They need to just be like, all right, we're just, we can't get them. The Pelicans ain't trading with us or whatever. And so we just got to focus on what we have. Develop our young guys. Um, Look, like Ingram has taken a step every season, but it's been slow, right? Like
Definitely.
he starts off horrible in the beginning of the year. This is his third year. It's been like that every year, literally. And he gets better every month, and then he really spikes after the All Star break. That's been his MO since he's been a Laker.
Mm-hmm.
Can we try to get more of that out of him early? Can no need him traveling around all Kingston back home or whatever. Can he stay in LA in a facility and work with? Oh, that's another thing. I guess who is our coach? We got to get a coach.
Yeah.
Um, who? I mean, are there any ideas of who's out there? I mean, let me throw
I
out some
mean,
names. I know they've been talking Doc Rivers lately.
yeah.
Um, Mark Jackson, Jason Kidd, Ty Lue.
Jeff Van Gundy. Yeah, there just been names thrown out, but nobody I like, to be honest.
So we got to get a coach. We got to get some kind of foundation idea how we want to play. We have to get a development system in place. We have to figure out who we're going to have. And let's just get going, man. Let this be an official, like this year is just a sabbatical or it's just a debacle or whatever. Let's just
Mm-hmm.
2019, 2020, that's the official start of this championship contending era. Let's build a team that can contend for a championship. Stop with these shenanigans, these 1 year deals. Just if you can't get the superstars, then let's build around LeBron and the young guys, and let's get veterans that help uh, mask some of their strengths and weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I'm looking at it. So we have a
Definitely.
clean slate. It's not the end of the world, but we need the front office to like wake up and be smart about the moves they're making right now. And we need LeBron and Magic to also recruit and try to do their best thing because this might be the biggest summer in recent Laker history.
I agree. I think it is.
Uh, I think it might be the biggest. I mean, in Laker history that I've known. And as long as I've been a fan, this summer can determine not only the next, our immediate championship contention, but if we end up trading all the young guys for something stupid, or if the young guys just like, I don't know I don't even know if they're gonna come back regardless. I mean, Kuz is out here pushing LeBron. I mean, I don't know. Like, Does LeBron? Does I mean? Do these guys mess with LeBron anymore? I don't know. I don't know if that relationship is just completely fractured or what. But we need a direction. We need to just go with it. Stop with all this in between. We just wasted a year of LeBron's career. Let's not
Definitely.
do that anymore.
Yeah, man.
So I'm kind of all over the place. I didn't really have a real plan, but
No, I
did
mean,
you have something in mind?
yeah, so I mean, just kind of echo what you were saying, number one, number one, Anthony Davis situation, it has to be addressed. That needs to be the focal point. Like, are we going to do this or not? I mean, if we're going to do it, make it happen. If they're not going to do it, then just move on, focus on free agency. Number two, coach, like you said, because wholeheartedly believe as soon as we play our last regular season game, by the time the post game press conferences start, Luke's going to be fired. I mean, it's going to be like that. So we've got to find somebody that, like you said, that has some type of culture that can help us build something. And number three, man, we need to commit. Like, you talk about us signing all these guys on 1 year deals, but um, we 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 need to start making some commitments to some of these guys so we can build that culture. Because if you're a team with no identity, I mean you're nothing. So we need to have some type of identity, some type of culture in the Lakers organization again, so we can get guys committed and so they can actually believe in what we're doing. But
And you could always make moves later if you're trying to clear cap or whatever, or whatever.
yep,
Like it's better to have a guy, a decent player that's an asset on a multi-year deal. Don't give money to bad players. But if you have a guy who's an asset on a multi-year deal, you can always trade him. You can always
yep,
trade him for a pick or whatever the case may be, or a player that fits better. It's better to have that than just a 1 year placeholder. I mean, those guys that can be useful as like salary cap relief to some team that might be trying to clear cap, but not your whole team.
yeah, yeah, man. I agree. And so we've been going for about an hour here, man. So I want to go ahead and wrap it up. I just have one final question for you. Um, did the Lakers make the playoffs this year?
What if we said all this and somehow these fools get hot and go win like 15 straight?
Wouldn't that be crazy?
That would be
Woo!
insane. Like I'll eat that L, whatever. I guess if that's honestly no, I don't. I'm just resigned to the fact like let's just not make it. Like these guys, I don't see it anyway. These guys hate each other. It's just a mess. Like they're like 1, 2, 3 Cancun. It's been a burden just to watch them play. It has
Hmm.
been only reason I'm watching is for my young guys really. And it's been tough just to watch this filth. Like, no, like in this, how like in 2K or whatever video games you could just sim to the end of the season. Let's just end the season. Let's
Yeah,
just stop. Like,
yeah,
so hell no, I don't see
yeah.
any way we make the playoffs.
That's a good way. We're gonna end it right here, man. Thanks, man. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Anytime, man.
Laker Nation, NBA fans, I hope you enjoyed this pod. Hope you enjoyed this special episode. Man, I really hope that, my brother's random and not accurate prediction will come true and that we do go on some fantastic win streak and, we make the playoffs, but that's not going to happen. This season has been absolutely awful, but we got to keep hope alive. We got to hope that, Magic and Rob can do something in the offseason, and that's it, guys. I'm a dejected Lakers fan signing off. Till next time.